Now here's a way you can tell, and I forgot to tell you this. 2 weeks ago when I reset mine, I put my ear here, and you can actually hear the water, the cow rod working.
The cow rod heats the water. So doing a quick video here, we have a Marathon 40 or 50 gallon water heater.
100
here.
gallon.
100 gallon, excuse me. And it's 2 years old in this new house that we moved into. And my wife was saying about how after 3 minutes in the shower, she loses hot water, which is true. And so my dad knows this unit very well. He has one. And the point of this is that there's 2 cow rods that heat the water.
Upper and lower.
Upper and lower. But the upper cow rod, for whatever reason, has a trip system. And so when you take it has a reset button. And so
when the water gets too hot, it shuts itself off to protect the cow rod.
Okay. So in this new house, what we did is we took off this top plate, and there's 220 behind there. So you want to go to the breaker and you want to shut the breaker to the hot water heater
Before
off.
You take this apart.
You take this off, and underneath this is going to be a little red reset button, kind of similar like your GFI outlet. You push that in and it'll click, and then you go turn your power back on your 220 at the breaker. And so what's happening? Why do these trip then on this top one? There is no reset button down here. There is no reset button.
There is none.
Okay.
That's where the cold water comes in.
So why are we, despite having a 100-gallon tank, running out of hot water?
This starts to heat the cold water that comes into the bottom of the tank. Hot water rises, it gets up here, and the finish heating is done by the top one. But if it gets too hot for any reason up here, if you have it set too hot, like if you have it on high, you will definitely trip that thing because it's trying to protect itself. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Literally. It's a heat protection thing.
So while that covers off, you also want to maybe turn it down from the hot setting.
I would never go above medium. Mine is halfway between low and medium, and but we got the Grundfos water or recirculator pump, so we have tons of hot water for whatever we do.
Okay.
But you should, when you're messing with that little white plastic thing from low, medium, and high.
For the setting, for the hot water.
You should have the 220 off at the panel.
Always have the 220 off at the panel.
When this covers off of here, you should have your 220
because there are
off.
220 wires behind there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then all you have to do is take that cover off and push the reset button, and then cover it back up and turn the power back on. And that's resetting that cow rod then to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what trips it in the first place then?
Too much heat up here.
Why?
Because people think they think that their water is not hot enough, so they get in there with a little slatted screwdriver and they turn it from low to medium, or maybe halfway between medium and high. I can tell you, you're going to be tripping this thing all the time.
Okay.
And ours has a special sub panel right next to our panel over here, and it's only supposed to have one green light lit, which means this thing is properly reset. If it trips itself, we get a green and 2 reds below it.
Okay, so that external add-on that you did.
I can look at my 200 amp panel, and there's a little sub panel next to it that our plumber, I don't know if it comes with the Marathon or an option, but he installed it. And all I got to do is walk down in my basement. If it's one green light, I know this is working.
Okay, so
if it's a green and 2 reds, this is tripped.
And then you have to do that. So that little add-on box that your electrician plumber put on, it helps give you an easy visual representation.
Yeah, you have to take this all apart.
Right. So it's kind of like a GFI. It tells you
exactly,
because a GFI has a little LED that tells you if it's tripped.
Right. And it's a little sub panel that comes out through one. You just do a knockout on your 200 amp panel and you install it. And the 220 lines that go to the upper and lower cow rods, this one, when it trips, it generates 2 red lights below the green light, and then you know this is tripped.
Okay. Yeah.
It has to be reset.